video from Bamm's Tabletop. We're gonna discuss and show you how I have magnetized my Biovores and Pyrovores. So I have this one ready to magnetize now, and I've got two of them done, so you can show you how it looks. So all we need to do is cut that tail off, this part right here, nice and flat. It's actually easiest to do before you even glue the legs on and you have really good access. You're going to take off quite a bit of that tail. Here's another example. So this one I angled a little bit more upward, and it's not quite as good. So now we know we want it to be a little more vertical up and down, that cut line. The up and down one just goes on nice and secure. I mean, that's not coming off. Very well fitting. So that's the only spot we magnetize. You just glue the tail to the gun in both situations. So the Biovores cannon only has these two little spots that it's glued from the tail to the gun. So when I'm putting this one on and off, I try to remember to grab the tail here, because that's where the magnet's located, and then just push it on. And it's super secure. You can see the magnets a little bit, so if you're worried about that, I think you could take some green stuff and kind of build up around it to kind of hide it, but I think once we hit that with some black primer, and it's harder to see, we'll be just fine. So that's the process. So I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to use my older cutters that are a little more heavier duty built, and I'm going to come in here and snip that tail off pretty far back. That actually looks pretty good. So kind of as a reference there, you can see that I've cut far enough back that I can see that hole. And I'm just trying to square up so it's nice and straight. Okay, so we'll take some glue. And I like to use for this part, anytime I'm doing magnets really, I like to use a quick dry. And the one I'm using today is Bob Smith Industries Instaset. This I just picked up at Hobby Lobby. The super glue, I love this Gorilla Glue with the brush nozzle. So it's a double nozzle, so you can take the top off and pour, squeeze out like normal, or you can take the whole lid off and you have a brush, which the brush is my favorite part. So I'm just going to put a whole bunch of glue on. Okay, and since I have two magnetized already, I need to make sure the polarities are matching. So what I'll do is take a done tail, because I've already got it finished. Put a magnet on that tail, so that's the polarity I want. And this way we just make sure any tail can go on any Biovore, and we don't have to worry about that problem. So I've marked that end, the black end, with the marker. That end needs to get glued to the model. So I'll turn that around so black end is down, and we're just gonna plop it right in the middle of this model. That tail that we just cut right there. Just like so. Now, to reinforce, this glue dries pretty fast, so that magnet's already staying. but it's not gonna stay well enough that another magnet won't rip it right off. So I am gonna go through and hit the edges with a little extra glue. And for the sake of the video, we'll use some quick dry because we don't want to sit and wait. So I always take the lid off and use the straw to kind of dab, because it doesn't take much and this stuff stinks. If you spray it and put it in the air, it's gross. I like to keep a paper towel or tissue or something to dry it, or to grab all that quick set off. Also, that lets me test to make sure the glue's all dry, which it is. So already we can test it with one that's already done. Make sure everything's good. So there's our pyrovore on this model. And here's our Biovore weapon. Oh, the Biovore weapon fits like a glove. You can see a little bit of magnet down in there. Very easy to do, very worthwhile. So I highly suggest you make both weapons up, cut that dude's tail off, and get those magnetized. So the other side, so that one's done, that one's done. So I have, that one's done. So these two are not done. So all we have to do is just like these, is angle a magnet down inside there and then just glue it in really well. So we'll do the same thing though with polarity. And by the way, these are the magnets I'm using. And the website you can get them from is right there. These things are the best magnets for miniatures that I've ever used. They're a little bigger, but you just get a really good, strong connection with them, and they also work so well on the bottom of bases as a magnetized solution. So this is one of the spores that come with the Biovore. I magnetize all of my bases, so I keep them in plastic containers with magnetic or metal sheets so that they don't get damaged when I move them around. I don't like battle foam. It rubs paint off of models, so I avoid battle foam. So we're gonna do the same thing like we just did. We're gonna put a magnet on the model, grab our marker, and we'll hit that side with black so we know that's the side that goes downward. Go ahead and take that back off. Your thumb or finger or whatever will immediately wipe that marker off, so just be aware of that. And then we're just gonna put it in, and we need to kind of wiggle it around until it's flat. Very important part right here, just to make sure we've got it where we want. And then, this is why this glue is so awesome, we're now going to use the spout side. So just take off the top cap. You can of course always use whatever glue you prefer. And I'm just going to squeeze some glue around these edges. Definitely over gluing it. One thing that everyone can agree on that sucks is when you magnetize something and then a few days or sometime later it comes off. So I'm using this paper towel to get rid of the clumps of glue. I don't care if there's a small film of glue across the top of that, that is just fine. And then this time I am gonna spray it, but I'm gonna do it towards the ground, so I'm just gonna spray that whole section with quick dry. You can see how that quick dry sprays quite a bit. It's usually way more than you need, but it also gets it back into every nook and cranny on this thing. So just making sure that the glue's dry, we should be fine. If you go a little too early, it'll rip your magnets out, but should be okay now. So there we go. Biovore number 3, so I can run I bought 3 of these new kits, so I can run 3 Biovores and or 3 Pyrovores. They're both such a good model to use. So I just have one left to do, so I'll do the exact same thing, glue a magnet in there, just like I've done on these other 2, and we'll be laughing. Cool, well thanks for checking out. If you found this useful, you know, I'm trying to get this channel going, so subscribe, like, all that stuff really helps out. So cool, thanks for stopping by and checking me out. Have a great day.